One day, you stop trying to look successful. You don't buy the newer car. You don't upgrade your phone just because everyone else did. You don't book the expensive weekend just so you have something impressive to post. And at first, it feels like you're falling behind. Then something strange happens. Your bank account stops falling behind with you. For the first time in years, money starts staying. Not because you got a raise. Not because you found a side hustle. Not because you suddenly became rich. You simply stopped spending thousands of dollars trying to convince other people that you were doing well. And that changes almost everything. It starts with the car. Someone you know pulls up in something new. For a few seconds, you feel it. That little voice saying yours suddenly looks old. You could afford the monthly payment. Maybe $600. Maybe $800. You start doing the math. Then you catch yourself. Your current car works. It gets you everywhere you need to go. So instead of upgrading your car, you upgrade your financial life. You keep the payment you almost created. $800 a month. That's $9,600 a year. And suddenly you understand something nobody tells you. Sometimes the fastest way to become wealthier isn't making more money. It's refusing to create another payment. Then it happens again. Your phone works perfectly, but there's a newer one, better camera, slightly faster, different color. Everyone online seems to have it. Before, you would have convinced yourself you deserved the upgrade. Now you ask one question: would I still want this if nobody ever saw me using it? And suddenly, the answer becomes obvious. That question starts following you everywhere. Would I want this watch if nobody knew the brand? Would I order this bottle if nobody saw the table? Would I rent this apartment if nobody knew where I lived? Would I take this trip if I couldn't post a single photo? Sometimes the answer is yes, and that's fine. But sometimes you realize you weren't buying the thing. You were buying the reaction. That's when you discover something expensive has been hiding inside your budget. The impression tax. It's the extra money you spend to make your life look slightly more successful than it really feels. The nicer car, the bigger apartment, the designer logo, the expensive dinners, the constant upgrades. One purchase doesn't destroy your finances. But repeat it every month, every year, every time someone else gets something better. The impression tax can quietly cost you a fortune. So you stop paying it. And almost immediately, your life becomes quieter, but your money becomes louder. Your credit card bill drops. Your savings start moving. Your investments grow faster. There is suddenly money left at the end of the month. And here's the weird part. From the outside, you might look less successful, but privately, you're becoming stronger. Then payday starts feeling different. Before, money arrived and already had somewhere to go. Rent, car payment, shopping, restaurants, subscriptions, installments, weekend plans. The paycheck looked good for about 5 minutes. Then it disappeared. Now you get paid, and some of that money stays yours. Maybe you automatically move $1,000 into investments. Maybe another $500 goes into an emergency fund. Maybe you start killing debt faster. Nobody applauds. Nobody notices. There's no photo to post. But month after month, something starts building behind the scenes. Freedom. Then you notice another change. You stop checking what everyone else is doing. Someone buys a luxury car. Good for them. Someone flies business class. Good for them. Someone moves into a giant house. Good for them. Their purchase no longer becomes your financial emergency. And that might be one of the most profitable mindset shifts you ever make. Because comparison is expensive. There is always someone with more. Earn $5,000 a month, and someone earns $10,000. Earn $10,000, and someone earns $30,000. Buy a BMW, and someone has a Porsche. Buy the Porsche, and someone has a Ferrari. There is no finish line in a game built around impressing other people. So you stop playing, and suddenly, your definition of rich changes. Rich used to mean people could see your money. Now rich means an unexpected $2,000 bill doesn't scare you. Rich means your credit card is paid. Rich means you can survive months without a paycheck. Rich means you can leave a job that makes you miserable. Rich means you don't need your next paycheck before it arrives. Rich means your money gives you choices. That's when you realize something almost backwards. The lifestyle that made you look wealthier was actually keeping you dependent. Every upgrade increased the amount of money you needed just to maintain your normal life. A bigger house meant a bigger payment. A nicer car meant a bigger payment. More expensive habits meant you needed a bigger paycheck. You weren't buying freedom. You were raising the price of your own life. But once you stop spending to impress people, that price starts falling. And suddenly your current income becomes more powerful. Imagine two people both making $8,000 a month. The first spends $7,600, maintaining a lifestyle everyone admires. The second spends $5,000 and invests the remaining $3,000. From the outside, the first person may look richer, but 12 months later, the second person has directed $36,000 toward building wealth. 5 years of that difference can completely change a life. And nobody watching from the outside may understand what happened. That's the beauty of quiet wealth. It doesn't need an audience. Then another surprising thing happens. You become harder to control. Advertisements don't hit the same. Trends don't hit the same. Other people's opinions don't hit the same. Because once your confidence stops depending on what you own, companies have a much harder time convincing you that you're incomplete without their next product. You start buying things because they improve your life, not because they improve your image. And ironically, you often enjoy those purchases more, because now they're actually yours, not financially, emotionally. Emotionally. You chose them. Nobody pressured you into them. Months pass, maybe years. The car is still ordinary. The clothes are still simple. Your lifestyle doesn't scream money. But behind that ordinary-looking life, your numbers are changing. Your emergency fund gets bigger. Your debt gets smaller. Your investment account starts becoming serious. Your monthly expenses become manageable. And eventually you reach a moment that used to seem impossible. Something goes wrong, and money isn't the first thing you panic about. Your car needs repairing. Annoying, but manageable. You lose your job. Scary, but you have time. You want to walk away from a toxic workplace. You actually have options. That is when you finally understand what all the saving was for. Not to stare at a bigger number on a screen. Not to win some invisible competition, but to make your life harder to trap. And here's the final irony. Once you stop trying to convince everyone that you have money, you finally start keeping enough of it to build real wealth. People may never notice. They may think nothing changed. But you know, because the goal was never to look rich. The goal was to become so financially strong that you no longer needed anyone to think you were.